Okay, so I'm back. What I'm going to do now, let's go ahead and make hands. I'm just going to hide this, hide that, and maybe...
Why didn't these things came off the reference layer?
I'm just going to pop all those in, add selections. Okay, great. Boop. And I'm just going to take these things and put them on their own layer, and I could name these, but I'm going to try to go fast, so layer 1's a head, layer 2's the body. Okay, let's take a look at the hand. So for the hand, what I want to do, you can find up to a dozen different ways to make a hand, but people start off with a cube. Okay, great. They'll start with a cube, and you know what they'll do? They'll take that cube, and they're going to make it into a cylinder. So I'm just going to start with a cylinder. Now I hold down J, boop, there, and so I'm going to start with a cylinder, and I'm just going to make a finger. So if I go and I grab my vertices, I grab a scale tool and I scale these down. I'm tapering it from, this is going to be the butt end of my finger, and that's going to be the tip of my finger. And I might go in here and also grab this little vertice in here and pull it forward a little bit. Okay, great. And I can grab some of these edges, and I'll just get rid of these. I'll make happy quads out of them. There. And then you'll start to observe your finger. Don't be scared to look down at your finger while you're modeling fingers. And just figure out what's going on with that finger. Okay? Typically, this one here, this area, is the shortest section. That's the middle section. And this is the longest one. We're going to be adding some more at the end of this one, so I'm just going to keep it like that for now. This one here should be shorter than that one. And you can move these things around so that they can curl together and they can make a fist. And, yeah. Anyway, so maybe I'll pull, I won't pull those back yet. When I do something like this, let's go to, say, the front view. And again, we'll be staring at our fingers. Okay, this area here is going to crunch in a bit. This is going to come back a little bit, like this. Okay, and maybe I'll do the same thing here. Okay, cool. Then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use the Insert Edge Loop tool, and I'll pop a loop in here. And again, I can slowly be nudging these things around and create this kind of little wedgie here. Okay, take these things and I'll pop that up into here. Just going to create this little bit of a wrinkle that you typically have in your finger in these areas. Okay, bring that down a bit. Okay, and then if I want to make fingernails, if I go ahead, I'm going to put in my Insert Edge Loop and I'll pop a loop here. Fingernail's going to go back to about there. Okay, great. And I'm going to pop another loop here. Actually, maybe before I make the fingernails, I'll just do a few more of these loops. I've noticed that as you do this, I'll pop in some more so we can play with the shape of the finger a little bit. If I kind of go in and I look on my finger, this kind of goes in a bit here. And then this is going to go down maybe a bit, and then this will go up a bit. And look at how it does this. I got really weird looking fingers, man. Oh, that kind of goes there, and then this one on. Oh yeah. And anyway, we'll say something like that, and then it kind of tapers and does something funky over this way. Okay. And it looks like there. That's a weird looking finger. Maybe I'll pull that forward a bit. Yay! And you'll see that when you do this from this view, okay, it doesn't look too bad. Or maybe it looks really weird. But look from the top view. Those same areas I just dealt with here, like here, I went and I made this, actually no, I think it was this one. You'll notice that if you scale them in a bit, you squeeze them in. When I look from the top, this one scales in a bit. This one here goes out a bit. And this one here might go out a tiny bit. Okay, and you can look at two viewports at once if you need to. This one here will scale that out a bit. And that one's kind of fine where it is. And then this one here, maybe that one goes out a bit. And then these things here look like they need to come in and taper in a little bit like that. There we go. So, something like that. Take a look at it. Here, I got a finger and I'm going to poke you in the eye. And then let's take this and I'll pull this back a little bit. Okay. And I want to make a fingernail. I'm going to grab this face, this one, and this one. They're kind of rounded out. Okay, and I'm going to hit extrude. Let's hit 3 as we're hitting extrude so you can see what's going on a little bit better. You can see that when I extrude, if I go in here and I offset a little bit, I'm going to offset in. I'm going to push this in a bit. Okay, and then I can go ahead and I'm going to hit extrude again. And I'll pull it up a bit. And I might just rotator it a little bit like that. Okay, I'm going to grab this face in the front, and I'm going to extrude those, and I'm just going to pull them out. Maybe scale them down a little bit, and there, I've got a finger. Let's take a look at how this looks. I'm just going to delete my history, freeze my transforms, and actually that made it all look nice. Okay, and that's a really nice cheap finger. Cheap finger. If I go in and I grab my faces at the back end here, I'm just going to go in and I'll deselect there, and I'll take those faces, delete them! Okay, nice. What time we at? 5-minute mark, 6-minute mark. So then I'm just going to move my pivot point. I'm just going to pull this back here to the back end of my finger. And let's move it over here. Okay, so once I've got one good finger, and we'll call this the middle finger here. If I go ahead and I make a duplicate, and I take my duplicate, I'm going to pull it over here, and I'll just scale it down ever so slightly, maybe make it a little bit shorter. And I might go and put it on a slight directional change, like that. And maybe I'll pull it back a little bit, too. I'm kind of looking at how the back ends of these things are going to match up. Okay, cool. And I'll take this thing, and I'm going to make another duplicate. And this one here, we're going to make that my ring finger. Okay. And again, I might put it out to the side a little bit. And let's scale it down. And maybe I'll make it just a bit shorter. Okay. Try and make it, they're kind of even-ish. Okay. And then I'm going to make another one of these things. Pull it over this way. And I'll rotator this sucker out a bit more. And I'm just going to make my scale smaller. There. So it's my pinky. And we'll call this good. Okay. I might also want one of these fingers for later, so I'm just going to duplicate it. Well, not later, I'll just do it right now. I'm just going to take this and we're going to chip off some faces off the back end of this sucker. Actually, I might even take those faces there. Boop. Boop. Because that's going to make a nice thumb. It's going to do something special for thumb one. And here, I'm going to rotate this sucker. Actually, let's rotate him out. Let's look at it from the top view. And then maybe I'll even look at my hand again. You can't see me, but I'm looking at my hand. I'm going to looking, and the top of my thumb is going to match up somewhere around here, I think. And I'm going to also rotate it here on this x-axis a little bit, because I've noticed it's got a bit of a funny angle to it. And it's also going to go down, 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 down. Okay, it's kind of a relaxed position, is something down on this angle here. Okay, and it kind of hangs down, something like that. I'll move it down over here. Okay, I'm going to call that good. So, at the 8.5-minute mark, okay, cool. I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to take all my fingers here, just the fingers, we'll leave the thumb alone for now. And if I go in and I take the mesh and I hit combine, okay, that's working out. And I'm just going to grab my edges. Damn it! Damn it! Let's get that frickin' rotate tool out of here. There we go. Okay, don't have anything extra selected. Okay, cool. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to hit extrude. And I grab my edges. I'm going to pull them back a little bit. And make them a little bit bigger. Enough so they can kind of crash into each other almost. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And then I'm going to start to connect these things together. What I'll do here to connect them together, one of these tools I rarely ever use, the merge edge tool. Yay! And remember the merge edge tool, you just go and you hit G, you repeat the last tool command, you can click on this edge, click on that edge, G. They're a little bit hard to see when you've got these kind of views on. Okay, maybe if I hit 1, actually let's see what happens when I select one of these things, I hit 1 so you can, no you can't see it like that, okay. Yeah, I might do it in non-smooth mode. G. And door. Okay, cool.
Oh, there's something funky on my finger.
What's that face doing right there? Okay, so I did select something extra there. Get rid of that. Ooh, fixed it. Okay. So once I've got to here, if I go in and I grab the face or the edges here, I can go ahead and hit extrude. I'm just going to take my extrude, pull it back a little bit. I'm going to grab my scale tool, straighten this out a little bit. Okay, great. Maybe I'll make that a bit wider. Okay, dude. And I'm going to go ahead and hit G, repeat the last tool command. I'm going to extrude again. And let's extrude back here. And I'm just going to take the scale tool, scale it up a bit. And you notice that your hand kind of tapers down like this. When you look at it from the side, your wrist is kind of up here. And it kind of tapers down. Okay, cool. And I can do things like here. I'm going to hit 1 for a second so we can just see how rough this is across here. Grab these edges. I'm going to grab my scale tool. There. And we'll grab these from here to here. Scale that down and flatten them. Okay, so you can kind of see there's these tendons that kind of taper through here. So we just kind of fabricated that. I'm going to hit extrude again. And I'm going to pull this back. Okay, and let's scale this in a bit. Okay, scale it in a bit here. I'll move it up.
I can smell chicken. I've got chicken cooking. Yeah. Can't wait to eat chicken. Roasted chicken.
Anyway, I'll hit extrude. And let's pull this back. Now we've got a nice kind of handage here. Okay. I might go and grab my vertices here. I'm going to pull those back a little bit. I want to try to make something to fit the thumb in. Okay. And if I go in and I use my insert edge loop, I'm going to pop a loop, say maybe here. And I'll pop another one, say here-ish. Okay. So now for fitting in the thumb, there's my center line, okay? I'm just going to go a little bit below the center line here. Take these faces, and I'll just delete them. And let's kind of round out this area a little bit. Come on. There, I'm going to grab vertices and round out. I'm just going to...
Come on. Select a little vertice. Trying to hide from me, eh?
There. And if I go in and pull this down, there we go. So something like that. Okay, just going to delete my history, and I'm going to grab my thumb, and I'm going to combine. So I've combined the two objects together. This shape that I just made here has 8 sections on it, so those 8 sections here will match up perfectly with the 8 sections, oh you bastard, on my finger. And if I go in and I use edit mesh, and I go and I grab my bridgeola, bridge. And see here, the bridge didn't really bridge nicely. It kind of bridged kind of funny back here. And your thumb doesn't really twist, but this will cause weird deformations. I'd like it if this edge, for instance, went from here to here. If I look over here, there's a bridge offset.
Yes. There, I like that better.
Okay. And I can do things like grab this edge loop, and maybe I'll do things like mesh average vertices. Gee. Want to see how that looks there. Time we at 13-minute mark. Okay, cool. I've almost got my hand done. I have to sculpt some things in it. Maybe I grab a vertice here, hit my soft selection, and let's change the soft selection so it's something like this, and maybe yes. Okay, I'm just trying to make this thing not look so robotic. Okay, that's not too bad. I could go in and muddle in the palm. I could do anything I want to here. I can... actually, maybe one last thing. I'm going to try and squeeze this in before the 15-minute mark. I'm going to take these things. Let's turn off soft selection. And I'm going to quickly kite them. Merge collapse. G. G. Okay, and there's a few different ways I could do this even faster, but I'm not trying to freak anyone out. I'm just using collapse. That's under edit mesh, edge, collapse. And then I can take this and go delete so. Delete so. Anyway, I end up with less edges here, and I can kind of relax these out. I'm just going to see if I can get away with G, 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 G. Boop, boop. Delete, delete. And I've kited my way into this nice little hand. Come on. I freaking hate that UV thing that we've changed. Kill the history, freeze the transforms, and maybe I pop in an extra edge loop here. And if I go in and I grab this in object mode and I quickly use the sculpt geometry tool. Oh, 15-minute mark. Damn it! Okay, I'm going to stop here.